So in 2024, I'm going to have a different intro, say something different instead of the same
Intro?
thing. Oh, I knew you'd laugh. Guys, this is our special bonus episode, year in review, the podcast style of the Spiritual Sisters podcast. I'm Gabrielle Celeste. Hello and welcome. We made it to the end of the year.
Yeah, we hope you guys had a great holiday. If you celebrate Christmas, we hope you had a great Christmas because this is coming out after Christmas, right? A few days later. Okay.
Mhm.
I hope you got everything you wanted. And Happy New Year. Almost.
And that's actually one of the things we're going to do better next year, listeners. We're going to know our dates.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We're going to have a better idea of when things are dropping. We're going to add a little fun twist at the end of every episode as per our younger sister's suggestion, which I'm excited about because some other podcasts do that and I love it. We'll share when we get there. What else are we doing?
It'll be like next week, so we need to get our shit together because that's literally the episode that's coming out next week.
Okay, this
Guys,
is
we're gonna be we're gonna try to be better. Emphasis on the try, because if you know us by now, we're kind of a mess, and that's just our brand.
Well, yeah, we're recording we're mid-December at time of recording, but we're also recording during Mercury retrograde. And I told myself this time last year, I was like, Gabby, you are not going to work in the month of December. Tell me why. I've tried to close out every single day this week, and it just keeps getting pushed back. But my cutoff for 2 weeks vacation, the 20th, for sure. I'm done. I need to, and we're gonna go over what we did this year. That's kind of the point of this episode. It's like there's really it is spiritual, but we're just talking shit. That's pretty much what we're doing.
Another thing I think we need to get better about is not giving so much behind the scenes. Hey guys, hope you had a Merry Christmas, but we're actually recording this mid-December. Those are probably things we need to figure out and get better about. But again, we'll try. We're not making any promises, guys. So don't hold us to anything we're saying.
We keep it real. That's one of Nichole's, what is it? Mantras? Yeah.
Motto, yeah. Keep it real, for better or for worse.
So, Nichole, do you want to kick it off?
What you see is what you get. Yes. So, you guys, oh my gosh, 2023.
Right.
I don't even know what to say. I was thinking about it and I was thinking 2023, kind of a dumpster fire. But then I was thinking, is 2023, or not 2023, is every year kind of a dumpster fire? When you reflect back, is every year kind of shitty? And then I was like, well, 2022 was pretty great. Well, again, it had its highs and its lows. So, let's grade 2023. If we were going to give it a grade,
okay,
I'd give it a solid C+.
Oh, okay. When you said grade, my mind immediately went to a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh,
and that just tells you how done I am with this year. We had very different but similar years because we're both in personal year 8s. But yeah, the girls asked me that. They're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it have been? And at the time when I answered, I was like, it's a 10. But now I look back, I'm like, yeah, in a lot of areas it was a 10. But I think now it's a solid 8. I say it was a B- if I was grading it, which doesn't line up with what I just gave you in terms of numbers. But this was just a really interesting year. And it didn't feel, thank God it went by so quickly. But it's not something I'm looking to repeat from an energetic perspective. And I think you'll understand by the time we finish this episode what I mean by that.
Okay. Wins and losses. What was a win for you in 2023?
You know what? Okay, I have a couple. Oh my gosh. Okay, so top of the list, podcast. I'm so proud of us. How much we got done together. I was thinking about this. If you put 2 June 22nd cancers together, just watch how much they can get done.
2 type A Mhm.
Yeah, the
Ladies.
podcast, and we'll get into the details of that. My business and just how much I got done in that universe. And the work that I did behind the scenes that isn't so front facing on a public scene, which we have a small audience. We have an audience, so it's a smaller one. And there's a lot of things that I don't think people realize that go on behind the scenes to show up to do this work. And so I'm proud of myself from that. So that's my win. Do you want to share your win before I go to my losses? Should start with the losses first. Just be depressing.
Oh my god. Okay. Losses? Oh,
Mm.
so many.
Win. Your win. I did my win. You have to do your win.
Oh, well, I don't know. Then you're like, we should have started with losses. So then I was going to start with losses. Okay.
Hmm.
A win. Yeah, I would give the podcast a win because that
Hmm.
wasn't something that I don't know. It was just kind of a, hey, let's do this. And then,
It turned into something completely different.
and then it turned into something completely different. The
Hmm.
podcast let us know what it wanted to be, and it wasn't what we thought it was going to be, and that's fine. So I would say the podcast was a win. Mm, that feels more, I don't know. Is that personal? Is that professional? I
I
don't
mean, it's
know.
kind
I
of a
don't know
mix
what
of both
category.
because they're
Yeah.
they're blending in at this point.
So it's kind of hit or miss. I would say a win would be this time off that I've had recently.
Mm,
This win would be that. We did a lot of traveling this year. We started New Year's Day traveling and we spent, I don't know, less than a week maybe traveling, January 1st before I went back to work. And then we went on our honeymoon. That was a win because we
mhm.
got to go to, and we did that right before we started the podcast. We went to London, we went to Paris, and I didn't think I was going to love London as much as I did. So that was kind of a win, that travel. And then we did some more traveling in the summertime. We went to Spain and then we went to Paris again to take my son. And then we've just done little weekend trips. We're taking off tomorrow to Vegas because my husband is turning 39 and he thinks he's turning 40 and he's going all out,
Mm,
the birthday diva that he is. So a win would
yeah.
be all of the adventures that we went on because my husband's really good at booking things for free. He's really good at the credit card points. So we had, like first class flights for our honeymoon that we didn't really pay for, that was paid on points. And then we stayed in really nice hotels that were paid on points. So that was kind of nice because now with me being out of work for as long as I've been out of work, it was nice to have saved that money. So I would give those the wins. The travel and the podcast would be my wins for the year.
Mhm. Not your spiritual business or how you've shown up in that space, because 'cause I'm very proud of that for you.
Mm-mm.
Oh, alright.
No,
Okay.
we'll get to those, but those are not the wins.
Mm, okay.
But yeah,
Okay. So what about some losses? Do you wanna go first?
no, I just went. I got to
Okay,
think
well,
about them.
okay, my losses.
Oh no.
It's really interesting because this particular year, from the Chinese astrology perspective, you work on cycles of 1 years, 5 years, I think it's 5, it's 10 years. Shakara, check me, let me know, and then lifetime. And my 1 year is my same as my lifetime energy. And I knew that this was a shadow side of a personal year 8, which I know you also experienced. So I'm curious if you're gonna share, like, your health related losses. But my I was actually ended up it was crazy. I looked at the astrology of it because, of course, I'm looking at all angles, guys. And now looking back, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that was something I wasn't aware of, and it's probably a good thing I wasn't aware of." But I actually ended up in the hospital in October over the eclipses.
I don't mean to laugh, but when you said losses in my,
My god, I know what you're thinking.
what, okay, what was
The
I thinking?
the blood loss.
I was like, this bitch lost a lot of blood.
A lot. Like,
But
it
I don't know if
was
you were gonna share.
oh, yeah,
So
yeah, I'm going into detail. Okay, so
no,
I
don't
mean,
go into detail. I was
well,
there. Don't go into
well,
detail.
that's what I'm saying, like, you were
Ooh,
there.
I was there. I was there.
You saw it, dad saw it,
Yeah.
mom was a trooper, like, couldn't even
Yeah.
wipe my own self in the hospital, you guys. It was bad. It's not like I hadn't experienced a cycle like that before, and I had. I actually had about literally a year to the day, and it
Male
always
listeners,
happened.
you might want to like tune out or cover your ears.
Scott and
The
Ryan.
ladies will get it.
But it was crazy because that weekend it was a reschedule. We were with Vanna, and
Mhm.
we had to reschedule the photo shoot, right? For because you had your health issues that week,
I
and
had
I
some
was,
help. Yeah.
yep, it was all in the same area, honey. I was such a bitch to you both. Just I was
Oh my
dying,
gosh, Savannah was like, apologize to me.
rightfully so. I love you, Savannah. Thank you for just being a writer. But it was bad. It was like that whole morning. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
It
And
was so bad. Yeah.
you were even like, "What the fuck is going on?" And thank
Yeah.
God that was a quick trip. Like, we were
Mhm.
originally planning to stay an extra day in San Diego, and I'm so glad that we didn't because
Everything happens for a reason.
the next morning I was like, "Something's wrong." And I ended up basically going to the grocery store. I fainted because I bled out from a bad cycle, and
Okay,
I had to
she
be rushed.
fainted in the grocery store.
I fainted in the fucking grocery
And
store.
what was she most concerned about?
What was I most concerned about?
That she spilled her coffee all over her white shirt.
I did.
That was her concern. We got a picture of
Oh.
coffee, and I spilled my coffee.
It was like straight the fuck up out of him. Like, what? Who does this happen to? Who does this happen to? Honestly,
You?
literally. And the guys, it was all the male attendants that were working at the store, angels. They were like, it was a godsend. I drove home. I should not have driven home, but I
Mm-mm.
was super adamant about it. I was like, I have to get home. I got home. Mom had just gotten back from a trip, and thankfully she was able to help me because, like,
Mhm.
I would have been alone. And
No, you wouldn't have. I would have been there.
you would have, yeah, but I mean, you're a city over, and you know,
It's like 15 minutes. And I was on the east end of, so
mhm.
I could have been there really quickly.
And guys, like, let me just tell you, I'm hella stubborn. My Mars placements in my second house, I do not want to go. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I will downplay my health issues. No, this bitch had to go to the emergency room. So you knew
Mhm.
if I was saying I had to go, it was bad.
Yeah.
So that was just the point where I was like, okay, like, I can keep going harder, but my body, for a lot of different reasons, and I really feel like it was almost like an energetic purge for a lot of different things that needed to happen. And it was like the slowdown and like the recentering that I needed, because this whole year I was very ungrounded. However, I look back on like what I accomplished in my business setting. Like, I read for over 100 people this year. Like, the fuck. So I'm very
That's a
proud of
lot.
that, but I'm not doing that. I'm not approaching 2024 the same way. And it's interesting because I just recorded my year in review video, and I am now, in my 9 to 5, I work in clinical research. I was like looking, and I was kind of getting like an energetic pulse on what's coming my way in the first 4 months. And I'm like, fuck, Gabby. So the next 2 weeks that I'm off, I'm definitely going to be revisiting and going inwards and seeing what I do and I don't agree to, because I'm not working the same way that I did in 2024. It's just not worth it.
Mm-mm.
Well, what about you? That was my main loss.
Yeah, like literal loss.
Literal. Like blood
Literal.
transfusion
And
losses.
I'm glad I was there the day before it happened, because had I not been there and had I not seen it, I wouldn't have understood, or I wouldn't even have, yeah, been, I wouldn't have downplayed it, but I would have been like, I don't get it. But because I
Yeah.
was there and I saw it and I was like, this is not normal, it made more sense to me. And
Hmm.
then I had forgotten that you fainted.
And your husband.
Because I was talking, yeah, I don't know what we were talking about one day, and then my husband's like, "Well, yeah, babe, and she fainted," and I was like, "Oh, she did!" Like, I forgot. So
It was
anyway,
not funny, you guys. Like, we're
no,
laughing
it
now because
wasn't
we can,
funny.
but at the time, like, it was very traumatic.
It was very traumatic.
Yeah, yeah.
So my losses.
Mhm.
this year are definitely, I think some of the, well, not some of, but I think my main loss this year was all of the infertility stuff that happened. And I
Mm.
spoke about it on here a couple times, but that was definitely a loss in the sense that that was just a blow to find out, okay, this is what's going on, and now you got to
Yeah.
go straight to IVF. And because that wasn't something that I was expecting.
Mhm.
And then we did do IVF. We did one round of IVF, which initially, so you guys, I went
Yep.
kicking and screaming all the way to IVF.
Yep.
And I lost it one day on my poor husband. That man is a saint for all the shit that he
It's
deals with for me.
the first and only time he really saw you lose it, though. Like, you really don't with him.
I was, you guys, when I say I lost it, I was sobbing as if like somebody had just died. And I was
Mhm.
telling Gabby, when my grandpa died in 20, no, two,
Mhm.
20, 2007, 2006,
Gosh, has it been
that
that
was the
long?
last time that I have cried like that. Like I lost it. Anyways, poor man. We're still married. All's good. And, but it was a good thing because he was able to explain things to me that I had missed after I had surgery because obviously I wasn't coherent when I had to have surgery to figure out why I wasn't getting pregnant. Anyway, so fast forward, it's like, okay, we're going to do IVF. Okay, I'm ready for it. And, you know, you guys, they're sending needles upon needles upon needles to my house for all these injections, right? I think I was getting like 5 injections a day. And I was so worried because everybody talks about the hormones and this and that, and you're going to be tired and you're going to be uh, tired. No, not tired. Exhausted was the word. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be bloated. You're going to be moody. I was a little bit bloated. I was not tired. I was not
Mhm.
moody. I was like, I feel amazing. These drugs are great. Like, I should be on IVF injections all the
All the
time because
time.
it was so good. So that made us wonder, oh, okay, maybe there was also some hormonal imbalance going on because I don't think I should have felt that good, but I felt great. So we were actually talking about it last night. I was like, how can I get some more of that HGH? Because
Yeah,
that was
seriously.
so good.
Yeah.
So, but we did the round, they retrieved the eggs, and unfortunately, we had 6 eggs to use. And at the end, we had 0 embryos that came from there. So now we have to start all over. And the reason that I've talked about it on here before is because, one, it's not talked about enough. Same
Mhm.
thing with child loss, right? With people who get pregnant and lose their babies, like people don't talk about these things. There's so much shame,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be that way. It's such a normal part of creating a family, and especially now that people are waiting much longer to have children. You know, people are not getting pregnant, you know, when they're 19 and 20 because they can necessarily, you know, like I think back to my grandma, that was just the thing.
Yeah.
People are waiting, people are going to school and getting educated and living their life, traveling. They're just enjoying their partners, right? So it's definitely, the trend is changing. And so there are so many more people that are having to go through things like IVF. And then with that, you know, maybe increases in miscarriages because you're waiting until you're older. There's so many pieces to it that I would love to be able to get to a point to where people are just talking about it and not in a way that there's shame and stigma. So I'm going to continue to share my journey with that. You know, we had the one round, we're going to start the next round sometime in 2024. So I'll be sharing all of that with you guys to keep you guys in the loop and let you know how things are going.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, and so I would say that that is probably that would probably be the biggest loss this year, was just that things didn't go the way I wanted them to. And then we tried the other way and then that didn't go. And so we have to do it again. So that's, yeah, that would be my loss.
Man, just the vagina issues this year. What's going on? Is this a June 22nd thing? Like, what?
You know, Gabby, of course I had issues with my vagina, and then of course you had to go and
Mhm.
have issues with yours too. Like, you are so unoriginal. You know, get
Ugh,
your own issues.
I'm such a biter, huh?
Get your own issues.
I was like, "I'm gonna do everything that she's doing and experience everything different ways, but just we have to be similar." Like, we just decided to do life together, Nicole.
Gosh. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about
Okay.
well, wait, to tap on that, like, what came up for you during that time? Because I think another thing that came up for us in different ways, but around similar times was the solar plexus.
Oh, fuck. What about it?
Mhm.
What
Well,
about it?
I realized, and I think when I have my own child, it will be very healing, but a lot of the solar plexus themes in my life around my self-worth, not necessarily my self-esteem, but it was very much linked to work that I need to do around my inner child and my past life. And I realized that part of the reason that I work so hard is because it is almost kind of like synonymous with my self-worth, and it's definitely something that I learned and was taught, and I think it's an ancestral thing. But this year it really came to the forefront like, "Oh shit, like you associate a lot of that for yourself by way of like your work." And there was a lot of revisiting that I feel like I'm still working on to really like step into my power with just like being. But also, I realized I was in my masculine the whole year. Like I was not operating from a feminine energy. And I really feel like it was very taxing on myself. And I'm not doing that again in 2024 because I got to get off of that high speed train to do things differently and to call in a partner.
Do you know how to, though?
I don't, that's the problem. But okay, but wait, do you know how to? Because we're the same in that way. Different
Mm,
reasons, but very similar.
I think I maybe don't. I know how to, not in the sense that it comes easy, but I think it would come easier to me than it comes to you. Not that I don't struggle with it though, but yeah.
With the slowing down, you mean?
Hmm. No, it's not easy,
Yeah.
but it's maybe, I think it would come
Mhm.
easier to me to slow down than it would to you.
I feel like that's been such a blessing for you though with the time off. Like that was such a gift that you
Hmm.
manifested for yourself.
Hmm.
And I don't know if people like our listeners have ever had the extended period of time off, but it takes like a hot second like to really like lean into it. And that essence of just like being in flow and being relaxed, that's feminine energy and that's not what many if all or many people have available to them. We live in a very masculine patriarchal world that
Hmm.
goes against the natural state of a woman.
Yeah. Let's see. So, okay. So I don't even know if I can speak to the solar plexus stuff. It's just, it's so much. It's hard to, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just hard. I think I've always, I would say that all of my chakras are fucked up, imbalanced. Wait, what do they say? What's it called?
Unaligned?
Unaligned. They're all
Misaligned?
unaligned,
Misaligned? Is it misaligned?
misaligned.
Mm.
They're
Misaligned?
not spinning the way they're supposed to, okay? That's what's happening there. I think all
Mhm.
of them. However, mm, I didn't realize how much work I had to do in that area. For me, it's always been the root, right? The security, the
Mhm.
stability, that piece. And then this one came and slapped me in the face and I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to recover from this one. This one's going to be a hot minute that we're going to be working on it. So I don't even yeah, it's come up I think in
Isn't it kinda
mhm.
no, finish your thought. I was vibing.
I was just saying it's come up in a lot of areas and so like you were saying earlier even with the fertility stuff, it came up there for sure. I think that's probably where it started this
Mhm.
year. And then it's just come up because guys, when you're on this journey of healing, oh my gosh, it's
Mhm.
it sucks. it just sucks. And that's all I can say about it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I have a question.
hmm
Do you feel like you would have, and I'm curious, ooh, I'm seeing energy as I see this. There's like this like spirit that likes to hang out here at dad's house where I record. And
Oh,
anytime
my
I
old
look up, I'm
room.
like, what are you doing?
My old room. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you would have discovered that solar plexus imbalance through therapy, or it needed to be the spiritual work that brought it up?
Ooh, great question. I was thinking about
Hmm.
the correlation between those two the other
Ooh,
day.
love
And
that.
I think that it was always kind of there because one of my core
Mm,
issues is that I don't think I'm good enough. So that always comes up in
mm,
therapy, right? I don't think I'm good enough at this or that, whatever. I don't think I realized what extent it was present and in all the different ways that it shows up. So I would say probably not. I think the having the two pieces together, having the therapy piece and then having the spirituality piece, I think really go hand in hand really well together.
mhm,
So I don't think I
mhm.
would have. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I think I was reflecting back because I was putting together like the YouTube video, like this is what I did on a month by month basis, right? And then I was like, go listen to our podcast episode when it drops because it's going to be off color. So this is like the fun
Mm.
episode, right? And I was thinking about it and I just like was looking over my list of accomplishments in terms of like just building up the systems for my business this year. And then it kind of hit me around the ego death in the summer. And then I realized I was really blocked by it after, I mean, I had realized it, but it really came up when we were driving back from the book signing. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, Gabby, like, you associate your self-worth with what you do and you put out." And this was actually a thing too when I was working in my corporate job. And part of the reason that I, like, just thrusted myself into doing so many readings was and just building this out was because I didn't feel and I have worked through this throughout the whole year, but I had to go through the extreme, and it's like, "Gabby, do you really have to go to the extreme to get to this point?" But I didn't feel like I had a place in this spiritual arena of sorts, and if, like, I'm good enough to actually do this work, and the only way that I really could have worked through that was by doing the repetition and doing as many readings as I did, and I was like, "Fuck, that's like a solar plexus imbalance for sure," and it just led me to the realization that, like, my self-worth, I really have to get and I wanna heal that from a I wanna heal that and come from a place of just, like, a healthy balance because I did have like some influencer celebrity interests in my services for my business, and I had this realization like, oh, like they show up very differently in readings, right? And it was like I have to show up in my complete and healed power because status aside of what they do for work, people can really feed off of your energy if you're not in balance being a psychic and intuitive reader. But all that to say, a lot of my solar plexus wounding, I guess, and things I have to work through have to do with like feeling like I have a place and I'm good enough to do this. So again, there's that similar theme of
That's where we
being
differ
good enough, but
because
in different ways.
we
Mhm.
differ there because I also feel like I struggle with, do I have a place here? Am I good enough to be here? And the way I
Mhm.
respond to that is just by avoiding it and not doing the readings and like,
Mm.
I don't want to
Oh,
show up. And you're like, no, I have to do all of them or I have to do as many as I can to feel good, where I like to avoid. So that would be where we're different
why are we
there.
like this? What like
I
what do
don't
we
fucking know.
why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know.
But also I had this fear in the back of my mind too when I was thinking about it for you. But not I mean the extremes, right? It's like your guides would shut you down because that can happen if
They're
you don't
so mean
work
to
with it.
me.
And for me, they are. And then for me, it's like you're gonna get shut down by way of your own doing, by doing too much just to prove what? Like you can do it and you're worthy of it. So there's a lot of like self-worth stuff coming up there that I didn't realize was there. And then when I started doing like the subconscious work, I'm like, oh my God, this goes back to like my inner child and my young years, right? But at the same time, it's like these skill sets and like us being very hard workers, which we are, and I can say that with humility and confidence, it has also gotten us to this point. Like, we fucking pushed out, what, 41 episodes? We figured out how to, like, set up a podcast all on our own. Like, we did a lot this year, like, to be proud of. So it's very there's a lot of different ways you could look at it, and I feel like that's one of the takeaways I'm really eager to go in and, reflect as I go inward over these next 2 weeks off. What do you think
Okay.
about that?
What do I think?
Mhm.
Yes. I think yes. Uh-huh, I agree. Okay.
Another thing, um wait, I have one more thing.
Okay.
This other thing that I've learned, because 'cause we're gonna talk
Oh,
about
that's
what
where I
we've
was
learned. Oh, I'm
going.
gonna talk
Okay.
about what I've learned about you. Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, one thing that we have improved, a skill set we've improved, is how we speak. Literally, like, watching yourself back on video, watching yourself thinking about what you're saying, how you're saying it, how to convey a message in a politically neutral way,
PC.
politically correct and neutral way. PC, mhm. I will say, podcasting has definitely helped with that. I'm I'm very
Mhm.
grateful for that. And what I've learned about you is how you think
Ooh.
about things. I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, that's so interesting." Like, you're very much coming at it from, like, an angle that I don't think people consider, but it's really fascinating to understand how your brain works, and I think that's also me just, like, learning that about you. I was like, "How have I not known this about you before?"
Can
You
you tell
know?
me how my brain
So,
works? Because I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Jeez.
it's actually, what I mean by what I've learned that I didn't know before is the ideas that you have, that sometimes the ideas aren't necessarily just for you, but it's very creative in a way that I don't think you give yourself credit for. Um, and it's nice to call you out and to, like, bring to light to be like, "No, Nicole, like, you are good at this. Like, no, you are very smart," and, like, give you examples in real time as you're speaking to them, if that makes sense. So that's been really fun
Mm.
to observe. Yeah. So, yeah, I just
Mm.
appreciate your brain, Nicole. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so
Oh, you're
sweet.
so welcome.
Yeah, I don't know how this brain works. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't work. But
Mm,
so let's see. Definitely the podcast has helped with some of those things. I even notice
mhm.
that I am able to speak more better in like
More
interviews
better.
or just in general. I can do that, I think, a little bit better. What did I do? I did a presentation, and even with that, I was feeling like, oh, okay, this is flowing a little bit easier. I don't watch myself back on the
Mhm.
videos though. I don't do the YouTube stuff. So,
Same, same.
but I listen enough when I'm editing. And
Mhm.
yeah, that definitely helped for sure.
Don't you feel like you're more comfortable because we record video as we record these podcast episodes, but just, like, getting out of our little crab shells and being comfortable with,
Mm.
like, being on camera, like, oh my gosh, you guys, the anxiety, well, that Nicole had when we recorded our very first episode, but the anxiety I had to even show up on Instagram stories, I'm like, "Oh my god.
Oh
Like, I
my
don't like this
gosh,
shit."
that's what I'm
Like,
having right now. I'm struggling with the fucking
mm-mm.
Instagram stories. I hate them. I don't
Like,
hate the
what do you
stories.
think
I
it
just hate
is?
showing
Like,
up. I don't it's the self-confidence, self-worth stuff. I do not want to show up.
it feels like I mean, I get that, but, like, you vibe well and you're good on camera. So, I think it's probably just, like, a limiting belief you maybe have to work through, but, like, I've been there, and I don't know what it is. But then also, like, I think that's where that repetition comes in, right? It's like you just do
Mhm.
it, and you do it, and you do it, and then it's like, it doesn't fucking matter because
Yeah.
people have what people care most about themselves is themselves at the end of the day, like, they don't give a shit what we're doing, or at least I don't
Yeah.
think they do.
Mm. Okay, so what did I learn about you this year? I don't know cuz I feel
Oh,
like
no.
I feel like mm, this is so hard.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the things that got highlighted with the podcast were things that maybe I already knew about. So I already know that
Mm.
you are well spoken. I already know that you're organized. I already know that you have all of those pieces in order. I know that
Did you
you're.
know that
Hmm?
Did you know that piece about my self-worth and, like, the work part? Because I think it's easier also for people on the outside to see things about ourselves that we don't see, obviously,
Yeah.
but I don't think I associated the hard work with the self-worth for myself, but did you know that of me?
Mm, yes and no. I would say I know that you're
Mm,
somebody who feels like you have to do in order to feel
yeah.
a certain way. I don't know. I guess I didn't know that if it came up on or came if it came up through work. Yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
You're a very interesting little
I love that you're
person.
thinking about this. Oh, thank you. I think that's a compliment.
Mhm. So, okay, you guys, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you an example. This was fucking
Mm.
hilarious. Okay. So when we were doing our photo shoot and this
Oh my
girl was so
I know what
mad.
you're talking about. I was a
Savannah,
fucking
yeah,
bitch.
oh my gosh, she said it. Okay.
I'll say it.
It was so
Yeah, I'll say
bad.
it. Yeah.
So anyway, she's like there and we're like trying to do all we can just to ease her mind and calm her down. Like, don't worry about it. We have this plan set up. You just chill, put on your nails, do your thing, right? And she's just so angry and she's like, I just need you guys to stop talking to me for whatever, right? 10 minutes, I don't know. Just leave me alone. I just need to get over it.
Mhm.
Okay. So she's all
Mhm.
angry. And then Savannah's like, okay, we're gonna start taking pictures. This fucking girl turns on, you guys. She was pissed 10 seconds before that. The camera starts going, and all of a sudden she's posing like this, and she's doing this, and she's moving, and like, and then even Savannah was like, oh my God, wasn't she just like pissed off like 30 seconds ago? And now she's like, yeah, oh, this angle. It was fucking hilarious to watch it. It was like a light switch. That was funny. So that was something I learned like, oh, she can fucking turn it on and off whenever she wants to. She just
Mhm.
chooses to I don't know, she likes
Wait,
to
wait.
sit in it. She likes to stew in her own shit.
Okay. So that is so true, by the way. So, mind you, you guys, like, I'm a hot mess. I'm quite literally hemorrhaging at this point. Like, the whole photo shoot, I'm fucking bleeding not nearly to death, but it was pretty bad. And I have to go back to pick up clothes that I forgot. Nichole didn't forget.
Well, she blamed it
I
on
was in
me though.
such I just was like, "I would have done it for you. Why wouldn't you have done it for me?" Kind of thinking in my, like, misery that I was in throughout the morning, which you wouldn't know looking at the photos, by the way. Like, they're fucking
No.
great,
But
but
pause. It wasn't that I didn't
Uh-huh,
do it.
uh-huh,
I had asked her
mhm,
because in my mind, I was like, okay, we're gonna go to this photo shoot. I want all my clothes hung so they don't get wrinkled. I don't want to put anything in the suitcase
yeah,
that I know I'm gonna wear. So I have my things hung. I brought extra hangers from home so that we could hang our clothes. So, like, in my mind, I had
yeah,
already figured all this out. So I asked her, hey, what do you want me to do with these? Because I didn't want to fold her clothes and put them in the suitcase because I wouldn't do that to my clothes.
yeah,
So I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do with them? And she's
yeah,
like, I don't know. So that I didn't do anything with them. And then we get to the photo shoot and she's like, you
yeah.
didn't bring my clothes. And I'm like, well, you didn't I asked you what you wanted me to
Okay,
do and I never got an answer. And she was so mad. And then thank you, Savannah, for being on my side. And
yeah.
Savannah's like, but like, it's not her responsibility to bring your clothes. And it's like, I tried, guys. And then it was just like, I don't know. And so I'm like, okay, well then you figure it out or you tell me when you do know.
Yeah, so yes. I was so rushed that morning and I was in such pain that I don't think I was comprehending what you were saying. So, like, yeah, it is
Mm-hmm.
my responsibility. So, we're in San Diego, we're in downtown, by the way. Any city, like, driving back and forth is a fucking
Awful.
mess. So I was like, "Oh my god, we only have this for, like, booked for 2 hours, blah, blah." So we know now, like, we're booking it for longer just because of how many photos you can get in a period of time and just what you have to do to set up in a photo shoot that, by the way, no one talks about. Like, this is all the back end stuff that we had to focus on just to get things, like, up and going. Like, it's such a which I enjoy, though. I enjoyed, like, the steps to, like, get the photo shoot organized, do the photo shoot, get the branding done. So anyways, that being said, so I
Well,
was
that was
stressing
why we
about
were
time.
telling you, like, don't worry about it either, because we're like, we got to set up for
Right.
30 minutes. We got to film. Like, Gabby, you still have a good hour before you even need to be on. Like, you're fine. Like, don't worry about it. We got it. And she was just Not having it.
I was not thinking
Mm-mm.
that, guys, right? So this is happening, went back to the hotel, fucking dying over their, like, guest lobby bathroom. Like, it was bad, you guys. I have photos, which I'm not probably not gonna share on Instagram, but I look at them, I'm like, "Damn, Gab, like, you look tore up, bitch." Also, fun fact, Nicole and I were there for less than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We both tell us why. Tell me why, Nicole. We brought 7 pairs of underwear. Why?
Story.
Why do we each do that?
Why?
Why do we do that?
I don't know. I mean, you probably
Why?
would have needed them with the way you were hemorrhaging. There's no way I needed
I mean,
7 pairs of
yeah.
underwear. 2 at the most. I
Yeah,
had
but we both
7
bought
pairs of
them.
underwear. What the fuck is wrong with us? Why are we like
We
this?
literally okay, but, like, I thought she was gonna judge me. She was like, "Gabby, how many pairs of underwear did you pack for a 24-hour trip?" And I was like, "Do I tell her the truth? Do I not? Is she gonna judge me?" So I tell her honestly, and then she comes out and she has, like, 7 to 9 herself, and I was like, "Oh, perfect."
Dumb. Dumb.
So dumb. So
Mhm.
dumb, but yeah. The turning on and off, by the way, when you're just like, "I just need," which is what I said. I was like, "I just need no one to talk to me for 10 minutes." And me pouting, I actually really wanted you guys to just give me attention.
We were
Tell
trying,
me
and then
she's
you
not
kept pushing
crazy,
us away, and then
okay?
she was like, "I'm hot," and I'm
Tell
like,
me
and I was like, "Gabby, there's this, like,
tell me
little
she's not fucking
area.
crazy.
There's this fan here. You can sit here under this fan. You'll cool off." And she was just so mad, and, like, I was like, "You know what? I can sit
Um,
there and sweat then. I don't care.
you're like, "Fuck this bitch.
Yeah,
Fuck
fuck this
this
bitch.
bitch."
Take my pictures," you know?
Mhm. Oh,
That was
man.
fun. Okay, let's see.
I
Ooh.
can't wait for the next year's photo shoot.
Oh my gosh. Savannah can.
Mhm.
She's probably dreading, like, these fucking bitches. Like,
We
Nicole, don't forget Gabby's fucking
Oh,
clothes
I
this
can't wait
time. Schedule it around the
I
period
can't wait for her to
and
listen. Oh, totally. We are literally
mhm.
scheduling around cycles this time moving
Mhm.
forward. So anyways, that was fun. Savannah, let us know what you think about this episode. I love getting messages from her and, like, our listeners after they listen. They're like, "We loved it." Like, honestly, the last couple episodes, like, people have really enjoyed, so that's been really heartwarming too, just to get the feedback. Oh, that's another thing. I know we're gonna pivot, but it's been really, really cool to connect with people, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. It's been really fun to see people kinda, like, start asking questions and getting really
Mhm.
curious and, like, watching them go through their own awakenings. I was like, "Oh, the master plan is working."
Oh, yeah.
But it's just been really rewarding to get that kind of feedback.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So, here's some questions that I thought were kind of fun. Okay.
Ooh, I
What
didn't plan for this.
I
Rapid
know you
fire.
didn't. I wrote it when we were talking. Okay. What
Mhm.
was your favorite or what was a favorite book that you read in 2023?
Oh my gosh. Nicole, let me open up my Audible. Okay,
Okay,
are you
well,
gonna can I ask you the same question? Are you answering these too?
yeah, while you look, I'll share mine. I think my favorite book this year was God, and I read so many or I listened to so many.
Did.
The one that really
Mhm,
sticks out though is Journey of Souls. I really, really enjoyed that one, and I think I'm gonna
mhm,
re-listen to it. There was another really good
mhm,
one that was Atlantis, A Hypnotist Journey or something. That one I had mixed reviews
mhm,
on. I really liked the content of it. However, the delivery of it was awful, and that's all I'm going to say.
mhm,
But I did listen to it twice. Journey of Souls, I'm going to go back and re listen to. So I would say that would probably be my
mhm.
favorite this year. What's yours? Did you
Okay.
find one?
Um, yeah, I have a couple. And there's a couple that I forgot that I, like, read that I'm like, because I have them on Audible, but I know I have paperback, and I actually prefer, like, the hardcover
Mm-hmm.
version of books, because I think it's a skill set, honestly. I really like the Human Design book by Jenna Zoe.
Oh, I
I think that
have it.
was
I
really
haven't opened
well
it yet.
organized. Like the way that that book was organized. I liked the art of psychic Reiki. I learned a lot about energy readings, and what you need to do from, like, a energetic hygiene standpoint. Nicole, you and I, we got to have some conversations on the side about that.
Mm.
Um, I really enjoyed. I read a lot of smut too, guys. Like, I like the 50 Shades of Grey shit.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I started A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read, like, better smut, but that one's pretty good. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert,
I said
and
a
Soul Led
favorite.
Living by Nikki Novo.
You're giving us your whole
I actually
list.
read more than I thought this year, to be honest. So that's kind of rewarding, I guess. Because do you ever notice that people who read quite a bit, like, are highly intelligent and very well spoken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I said a favorite book,
Okay.
but okay. Well, we got Gabby's reading list from 2023, so check that out.
Hmm.
Okay, what was your favorite movie in 2024? Oh no,
Oh,
sorry, 2023.
I know we're saying 2024, huh? I mean, I can only think of like one that I actually saw, and one that has yet to come out. But Barbie was great.
Oh,
Barbie
still
was
waiting to
great.
see that.
And then Aquaman 2 comes out at the end of the month, and apparently my husband looks just like Jason Momoa, so stand by for that one, guys.
Hmm.
You know what? I don't think I saw enough movies, Nicole. I'm actually like on my Netflix game these days. So
Mm.
give me that question.
Okay, what was your favorite Netflix anything that you watched?
So I just discovered Korean dramas on Netflix. By
Interesting.
the way, I mean, the exaggeration, like the comedy, it's very I mean, I'd liken them to like Spanish novellas.
I was gonna say, yeah,
So,
because mom used to watch those all the time.
oh my god, there's I'm watching one right now, which is called Destined with You, and it's literally all about reincarnation and like these two lovers like meeting up again in this lifetime. There's a lot of woo stuff in Korean dramas that I didn't know about, and I was like, "Oh, this is really
Interesting.
cool." There's another one called My Demon. I don't know why, but I want to talk to the Bridgerton ones, but the Bridgerton series came out last year, and I know they just dropped the date for the new Bridgerton series coming out in March of
Ooh,
2024. So I'm excited for that. What about you?
okay.
Movie and
Favorite
Netflix.
movie? Okay, favorite movie that I
Hmm.
saw would be John Wick. Was it 3 or 4? It might have been.
Oh my gosh, you have to see them with Dad. Dad loves those.
Oh yeah, we saw it in London because we needed a day just to do not much,
Oh.
and so we went to go see it over there. So good,
Mm-hmm.
and we had just
Hmm.
left Paris, and some of the filming was done in Paris. So I was like, "Oh, we
Oh,
were like
okay.
just there." So that was kind of cool. So I really liked that.
Mhm,
I've discovered a new love for Keanu Reeves. And
mhm.
so
You're a
that
very
would be my
attractive
favorite
man.
movie. And
Mhm.
Netflix, I don't know. I did watch a really good documentary on HBO, or I guess it's just Max now. Mother God. You guys, if you have
Mm.
not seen Mother God, you need to watch it, okay? It is so good. My husband watched it yesterday. He was at his other job.
Cult one, right?
Yes. He was at his other job
Oh, man.
and they had nothing going on, so they all started watching Mother God. And he was like, "Yeah, my wife said this shit's crazy." And I talked to him in between like episodes, and he's like, "Yeah, babe, everybody here is like mad for different reasons. The nurse is mad for this, the clinician's mad for this. Like everybody was mad about something in that show. It's fucking crazy, you guys. You have to watch it. You have to fucking watch it." I'm so glad my husband watched it because I have somebody to talk to about it. It's fucking crazy. And while I'm watching it, I was working on some content on Canva all about chakras. And what do they have in front of them? All their fucking chakra systems. And I'm like, oh my God, this is people like them make people like me look bad. They
Look
give us a
bad.
bad name.
Yep.
But it's so good. It's so good. I will caution you, episode 3 is very disturbing. I would probably not watch that after I've eaten or
Oh,
eaten. So, anyways, favorite probably documentary, but it's not Netflix, but so good. Check it
wow.
out. Hmm.
Wow. Okay. We'll have to
Okay.
do that. I'll remember right.
Favorite new podcasts in 2023.
The Spiritual Sisters podcast. I mean, come on. Give me
I don't listen to it. I edited enough and I'm like, I don't want to fucking listen to it again.
mhm. I have a couple.
Mm.
Um, I'm just gonna pimp them all out. Okay, so I like The Doctor's Pharmacy, with Mark Hyman. Beyond the Shadows. Shout out to our guys.
Hey.
Hey. And I mean, Common Mystics, I caught up with them.
They're good.
Uh-huh. Witch Wednesdays, Human Design with Jenna Zoe, Holy and Human. But those are all kind of ones that I've listened to.
What about new ones?
Well, the new one was The Doctor's Pharmacy and Beyond the Shadows for sure. But the other
Mm.
ones towards then I had already listened to. But I'm very particular. That's actually something that I realized this year of myself too. I was so just like grinding, working full-time job, like building the business, doing the podcast, like all the things. All the things is something, I say
Mm.
quite often. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a 2023 thing for sure. I'm very particular about what content I'm consuming just because I don't fucking have the capacity for it. Like in the last month, I haven't listened to one podcast because I'm just done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you?
So my podcast has changed a little bit. My
Mhm.
my listening has changed. So some of the ones that I listened to previously were Graveyard Tales and Two Girls One Ghost, like Morbid and True Crime Garage. So I'm sure you guys are seeing the theme there.
Mhm.
Some of the new ones that I started listening to this year were Beyond the Shadows, obvi, because they just came
Mhm.
out too.
Mhm.
All things outrageously dark, scary,
No,
beautiful, and totally true. You guys, I
yeah.
love you more. See, she didn't even think about you.
I completely forgot Katie
Hmm.
Kelly. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. You're
Remember who
also
loves
on
you
the
guys
list.
more.
Shout out to your astrology episodes. Love those. We want to steal that idea in our own way. Sorry, not
Yes.
sorry.
Another one I discovered this year was Behind the Emerald Veil, and I love them too.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And I think I also discovered Common Mystics this year. I think that was something, I think I found them early in the year, right before we were going to be starting our podcast. So I was like, Gabby, I just found this podcast about sisters,
Yeah.
but it's done differently. So we're good. And yeah, like Mother Like Murder. Oh, Manifestation Babe.
Yep.
That has probably been one of my favorites. Oh, and then, I don't know if this was 2023, but I like for my just kind of easy listening when I don't want to overwhelm myself with too much. I like to listen to Girls Next Level
Mhm.
because I loved the Girls Next Door show back in the day in the early 2000s. So I've been really liking listening to that and then trying to rewatch old episodes as
Mhm.
I'm listening. So those have been some of my favorites that I've kind of switched to in 2023.
So I forgot a good like basically all of the people that I listen to those too. Like Mandy and Allison. I feel like I've been listening to them for
Nice.
forever, but oh my gosh. But it really was this year, so yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
this year.
Um
Mm-hmm.
and then Equestrian Perspective, shout out to our girl Felicity.
Hey,
So that was another one. And then you know what I actually am really bad about doing? So like I just kind of go and search for them because I'm like I have so much.
saving them
Yes. So I just go and look and I don't subscribe, which we probably should, right, for downloads. But for whatever the
just
reason,
so
it
you
just
get
takes up
caught up too. Yeah.
yeah, it just takes so much storage in my phone. So everyone, I love you. If I forgot anyone, it was not intentional. I just don't have you saved in my phone.
And the Nikki Novo podcast. That one I did discover, I think, in January or February, and I really loved it. But I didn't listen to it much because new episodes haven't been coming out.
But they
But
will.
yeah, they will. But that was
Mhm.
something I listened to also.
Mhm. That was actually another thing too that we learned about like what goes into podcasting because it's actually really not readily available information about what makes a podcast successful, what the average amount of downloads should be, like where you want to be before you pitch yourself to sponsors. So learning about that has also been really interesting being a podcast because we can call ourselves podcasters, Nicole. Like we're podcasters. Wow. I couldn't say that before 2023.
Oh, my son calls us YouTubers sometimes, or he'll ask,
Oh.
"Are you a YouTuber?" Like, no, I just have things on YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber, and don't tell anybody that.
Okay, so that's another thing. The spiritual stuff, Nick. Where are you at with that? And where do you want to be in 2024? Or are you done with your questions? I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, favorite podcast, movie, documentary, book, just little
Mhm.
fun favorites.
That's cool.
Let's see, where am I at? You guys, I'm a mess. I would say that because I haven't been working, I
Mm,
have noticed. So I love having free time and just being in flow and doing whatever I want.
your natural state as a
Yes.
Cancerian woman. Mhm.
However, I do also recognize how much I rely on having a routine. And when I don't have a routine, I don't get as much done. So I've noticed that since I haven't been working, even though I have more time to do meditation and to do breath work and all of those things, I don't because I'm so used to being in a routine of, okay, I have this going on, and then this is where I'm going to fit it in. So I haven't been as diligent. And the reason I know this is because I haven't switched out my candles as often as I normally did because I'm not even lighting them that often. So that tells me that I'm not doing as much. I'm so behind in my journaling. So I've been kind of a mess since I haven't been working. So one of the things that I would like to get better about in 2024, and I think it's going to happen because I'll be working again soon, is just being back on top of doing my meditations and doing my journaling and doing my card pools and all of that. So I would like to be expanded in that area um, in the next year. So in 2024. Another thing that I would also like to do more of in 2024, and I'm sorry guys if you don't like it, is I want to show up more on stories. I'm really making an effort to try to show up and to
Mhm.
show more behind the scenes of our everyday and not just showing up to share clips of the pod or to share a funny reel on Friday. Like, I really want us to show more of just what we do during the day and what our day
Yeah.
looks like. I'm still not going to share my family. I'm still not going to share my son or my husband because they're not into it. I mean, my son would probably love it. My husband is so private and anti social media that I'm
Yeah.
going to keep him, private and hidden away the way he likes. But just showing more of the dumb things that we do all day. So
Mhm.
that's something I want to do more of. And I think I want to do more
Are you there?
events or maybe workshops for the people that listen and that want to join. What they're going to be yet, we don't know, but I think I would like to do some more of that in 2024. So my goal is to maybe have 1 to 2 workshops in 2024 of something. So if you guys have ideas of something that you would like us to do, let us know.
It's so funny. I how you're, like, in flow, like, I'm ready to get back to my structure, my routine, but still be in flow. That's so funny because I kinda wanna go about it, like, opposite because I was so structured and so routine and regimented this year that I know that, like, being in this way and building things up for something that's gonna sustain us down the road, like, I'm getting to that point, like, it's gonna pay off so that I can be in feminine flow and be more creative and have the time to do the things that I wanna do without being so structured, but I know, like, I also do very well with it and I need it. So I think for 2024, that's gonna be on the agenda, and I just keep thinking back to this conversation. You guys, aside from us, like, literally prepping for hours on end for episodes, we also talk on the phone for, like, hours on end every day. We don't get sick of each other. So
I'll call for one thing and then it's like 58 minutes later, okay, we
later,
gotta
or the
go.
yeah, literally.
So
So there's
dumb.
that, right? But I was reflecting on a conversation we had, and we're just like, "Fuck!" Like this is it's a lot of work. Like we worked a lot this year, even though you say you didn't, Nicole. Like you had your time off, you still did a lot on the back end that people don't really know about, and that's fine. But I think doing things differently and getting off of that high speed train so I can, invest some time and have like a little bit more fun in my personal life. But yeah, I was again, speaking of workshops, we did the workshop for 2024 astrology, and I was looking at the astrology for the first 4 months for myself, but also for the year, and I was like, "I'm not gonna get that break, honey." Like, so my approach is gonna have to be different. So I'm curious to see, what the next year brings the both of us, but in going back to that conversation, you were just like, "Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that break, like, anytime soon." Like, I think we're really gonna have to continue this hard work for just a little bit longer, and that's fine, that's really all we've known, ever.
One thing I would like to see from you in 2024 is doing more
Mhm.
reels. I know you hate
Oh my
them, but
gosh. Yeah, I do hate reels. I do hate reels.
they're so fun.
I but then I think it goes back to, like, that part where you're just like, you feel like you're not good enough. I'm like, "No one gives a fuck what I'm doing." Like, "No one cares, honey." Like, "No." Like, "What do
But
I need
that's
to do
why I
reels
think that's
for?"
why the reels are easy because it's not what you're doing. It's just putting out something to entertain versus the stories is what you're doing. But
Mhm,
reels is just entertainment. That's just okay, I'm gonna make somebody laugh with this stupid reel. That's what it
mhm.
is.
I also, am very, like, analytical and picky of, like, how certain things show up on camera of myself, not necessarily of other people. So I very much have an idea of, like, how you're like, "Oh, this bitch knows how to turn it on and off." It's the same way that I wanna show up, like, on camera, like, "Oh, yeah, this is very much outward facing and, like, guys, for when we get rich and famous in a couple years from now, come back and listen to this episode."
The Lulu.
Very much have an image of, like, what I want to be seen, and that's really what social media is, like, it's what we're allowing others to see of us, and I feel like that's very, protective, especially as cancers over here, so that's kinda where I wanna be, where I'm showing when I show up in that space to create reels, at least for my business, because reels are really where you can grow your audience, is another thing we've learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need some help with them. I'm
I'll be
always
there
just
in a
like,
couple
oh
days.
shit, I don't have anything recorded. Okay, what can I put together real quick? And it's always the ones that I put together at the last minute that do the best.
That do
That
so
I put
well, like
no effort or
YouTube.
thought into. It's dumb.
What are you doing? My best.
My best. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
How are we already at an hour? What the fuck?
Because this is how it happens, just like our fucking phone calls. Hey, Gabs, I have one
Okay.
quick question. And then 58 minutes later, like the other day, and you're like, I
I
gotta
know.
go to a meeting.
I know. I love it though, because it's like the medicine you don't think you or even knew that you needed.
Well, it's great because right now, since I'm not working, I don't have health insurance. I haven't been going to therapy, so I don't have a therapist. Oh shit, that reminds me, I never called Elizabeth the other day. Fuck. I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
Well, Elizabeth, we can't
I'll
wait
call
for
you.
your special project in 2024.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, that
Yeah.
was another podcast, To Be Magnetic.
Yeah, I haven't listened to them as much
Mhm.
recently. I think I'm still a little sad about missing the
I
show.
know. We'll go next year. We'll go next year. It's okay. It
Yeah.
didn't Chelsea really appreciated it. I know it.
No, I know. I'm glad somebody got it. And then it actually worked out because me and the husband had a good day together, just doing what we do best, which is shopping. And so, yeah, it was a great day. It was a good date day, so it worked out.
Okay, I have one question. One final
Mhm.
question. What
Okay.
is your one-word theme for 2024? I'll give you mine while you're thinking.
Okay.
Serenity.
Oh, that was
Mhm.
nothing close to mine.
Okay.
Mm. One word
Yeah, why not? It's fun.
is WTF a word?
Yeah,
WTF.
for 2024 coming up?
Oh,
Okay.
for 2024. For
Yeah,
2020. Oh,
yeah.
I thought you
Oh,
meant for
no, yeah.
2023. Oh.
Oh, fucking clusterfuck.
Oh, okay. 2023. Oh, is glow up a word or is that two words? Can I hyphenate it and make it one word? One
Yes,
word.
it
Glow up.
counts. Glow up? Okay. Actually, yeah, you're getting that because I remember your chart, so asking you shall receive. Yeah, serenity for me.
Oh.
Mhm,
May the universe give us what we ask for.
and so it is.
And so it is. Well, you
Mm,
guys, we love that you stuck around with us for 7 months. Is
8?
that how long? 8?
8? 8.
Oh,
8.
well, we have 8 months down and we hope to have 8 years to go at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might run out of topics, but
Or maybe people, yeah. You guys, please rate, review, subscribe. It definitely gives us incentive to keep going because, there was a conversation where we're just like, are we going to keep doing this?
yeah, you guys, I've been ready to throw in the towel. So,
Yeah. I told some of our girlfriends that and they were like, "Nope."
well, guys, make it so. Make it so that we
Mhm.
don't have to do it cuz it's a lot. And I
Yeah.
have all the fucking time in the world right now, but that's going to come to an end. So, anyway, Yeah.
Mhm.
We hope to have 8 more months to go, 8 more years to go.
Yeah, genuinely.
And it's been fun, and we've learned so much, and we've connected with people in different ways that we've loved. And yeah, we just want to keep doing it. So ideally, I would just want to podcast all day, every day, but I would
I mean,
probably need multiple shows. And I
I
don't think that many people want to listen.
we would be so good at that because all we do is talk about nothing, and we can talk all day. We don't what did you say? Because we don't know how to shut the fuck
We don't
up.
know how to shut the fuck
Iconic.
up.
Iconic phrase. So that's gonna be one of the things that we'll put on a shirt along with what else?
Mm.
Uh, there's a couple of nuggets that we could really brand out.
You know where that came from? So years
Mm,
ago, we were on a trip, me and Bestie and
she's
Baby
coming around.
Daddy,
Mhm.
and we were driving back from Vegas,
Oh my god.
and we were like, "Oh my god, this drive home has been so quick! Like that passed by so fast." Mind you, we'd been in Vegas for nights. Everybody's like tired and probably hungover and just ready to be home. And me and Bestie were like, "How did that pass by so fast?" And Baby Daddy's like, "Because you two didn't shut the fuck up the whole time." Oh, we're home already? That's so fast. That's where that came from. So me and Bestie don't know how to shut the
Mm,
fuck up, and you and I don't know how to
mm,
shut the fuck up. And
no.
yeah,
She needs to come on. She will. We're working
she
on it,
will.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, she will for sure. Anyway, so guys, we hope to see more of you in 2024. Share this with a friend, share it with a loved one, share it with a coworker. The more people share with others, the more they share, and it just snowballs from there. So,
Please and
yeah,
thank you. We're so
please and
grateful.
thank you.
Thanks for sticking
And
around.
and we'll see you guys in 2024. New us. No. New year, same us. Yeah.
New Year. I was gonna cuss. I was gonna say New Year,
New
same
year, same
bitches.
bitches. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Don't
good.
expect anything different from us, guys. See you in 2024. Bye.
Bye.